Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Titi Matisha binti Muhammad Khalif. I would like to start the presentation with the introduction of flexible working hours, flexible working arrangement, and also work from home policy. So the purpose of flexible working hours in federal government agencies. So a new working hours system was introduced in the Malaysian Civil Service Scheme during August 2019. It replaced the old system of working hours known as stage working hours. So the new working hours are known as flexi working hours or waktu bekerja flexi WBF, which it is an improved working hours system for the public sector. This is in line with the midterm review of the 11 Malaysian Plan, where the government agreed to improve the existing work order from a rigid work environment to a flexible work environment by implementing WBF in federal government agencies. In addition, WBF is a flexible working time where officers are given the flexibility to attend work within the stipulated time of entry and return time. They must provided they meet the working time period of 1 day. By introducing WBF, civil servants' job satisfaction would increase since they would be able to determine their own work hours, which would give them a sense of power. So now we'll move on to the purpose of flexible working arrangement in public sector. Many commercial organizations, particularly in developed nations, have embraced work-life balance, which may be achieved through flexible working arrangement. Since they can see the benefits of flexible working arrangement on the sustainability of the enterprises and the well-being of the employees, flexible working arrangements are mutually beneficial agreements between an employee and an employer to increase employee productivity and the organization's profitability. As a result, several organizations encourage the support of flexible working arrangement. The Malaysian government, through its Talent Corp program, has pushed the enterprises to implement flexible working arrangement in order to provide greater flexibility in terms of service duration, location, and working hours at the workplace. MPRC promotes firms to embrace flexible working arrangement in order to retain talent through using the Talent Corporation's Future of Work project. The government facilitates the implementation of FWA such as working practices, decreased work hours, and job sharing through the Flex Work-Life platform. The Malaysian government recognizes the benefits of FWAs to employees since FWAs promote employee morale, which in turn improves employees' quality of life. Next, we'll move on to the purpose of operation of government offices below movement control order 3.0. So during the COVID-19 pandemic in Malaysia, the government issued a service circular which aims to implement the government decision related to the work from home WFH policy for federal public service officers. This is because during the pandemic, all workers were not allowed to work physically in their workplaces due to the need to comply with SOPs issued by the National Security Council. As a continuous effort to improve the public service delivery system and the need to balance the job requirements and well-being of officers, the government has agreed to establish a WFH policy as an alternative to new ways of working in the civil service. Among WFH policies is that federal public service officers can be considered for WFH based on the terms and conditions set out in this service circular, and also WFH provides officers to perform essential duties or other official duties from the house on their working day, either full day or half days, for a period as appropriate subject to the interests of the public service and taken into account as present on duty. The concept of working from home during COVID-19 is not the same when implemented in normal practice. In the context of common practice, there is a high aspect of flexibility between employees and employees, and there is an element of voluntariness to do so. This concept can be applied in many different types of jobs. During COVID-19 transmission, working from home can help reduce the risk of infection through a lack of direct contact between workers and those who could potentially be carriers of the virus. This condition is compounded by the spread of this epidemic, which can also occur for those who do not have early signs of infection. Social distancing can be carried out, and this will be able to break the COVID-19 network and become one of the control mechanisms.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone, my name is Edwina Carmela and I will be explaining the implementation of WBF in government agencies and the implementation of flexible working arrangement in private sector. So since 1998, the phased working hours, or known as Waktu Bekerja Berperingkat, WBB, has been established by the government in the federal government across the country, in which the concept of flexibility has been implemented and introduced in the government sector. So from 1 January 2018, according to the Service Circular Number 4 of 2018, the WBB consists of 4 level hours of WP, namely WP1, WP2, WP3, and WP4, where the officers can work according to the WP chosen with the agreement of their head of department. However, 4 more WPs, which are WP5, WP6, WP7, and WP8, has been specifically applied during Ramadan month. In accordance with the 11 Malaysian Plans midterm review, the government actually agreed to change from existing working arrangement from rigid to flexible working arrangement by implementing WBF in federal government agencies. So my question here is, what is WBF? Okay, WBF is a flexible working time that allows officers to arrive work within the stipulated entrance and departure time as long as they adhere with the day's working hours. Generally, working hours for federal public servants begin at 7:30 and ended at 6 p.m. except on Thursday for some states such as Kedah, Kelantan, Terengganu, and Johor, where they begin at 7:30 and ended at 4:30. The WPF policy actually applies to all federal public service officers who work in all ministries, departments, and agencies in Malaysia. In addition, the officers can report to work at any time between 7:30 to 9 a.m. However, for some services such as service counters, their head of department may actually instruct their officers to perform work whenever it is necessary within the time frame. Okay, from the table 1, we can actually see some differences between the period working hours per day for every state in Malaysia. Other than that, according to this implementation of WBF, it has been decided that Saturday is a weekly rest day and Sunday is a weekly holiday for the states of Perlis, Pulau Pinang, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, Pahang, Federal Territory, Sabah, and Sarawak. However, for the officers in the states of Kedah, Kelantan, Terengganu, and Johor, their weekly holiday is on Friday and a weekly rest day is on Saturday. And most states, recess begins at 1 p.m. and ended at 2 p.m. The officers actually are allowed to attend work between 7:30 to 9 as long as they adhere to the working hours per day that total up to 9 hours. Next, moving on to the WBF of Ramadan month, where the government gave more flexibility towards the federal public service officers by decreasing the 30 minutes rest period and allows them to leave the office 30 minutes earlier. Hence, the official may choose to cut their break by 30 minutes, or if not, they may stick to the existing schedule. Next, I will be explaining the implementation of FWA, or Flexible Working Arrangement in Private Sector. So, flexible working arrangements are described as a working condition that allows employees to work outside of the traditional working hours and their work is completed project by project basis. So the first FWAs were adopted by Malaysian government in the form of staggered working hours in public sector in 2007, followed by FlexiPlace in 2010 that allows civil officials to work from home. So FWAs are alternative to traditional working arrangements that are more fixed and inflexible, such as the traditional working day 9 to 5, traditional work week, and traditional work area. The employee may benefit from flex time in a variety of ways, including increased efficiency, reduced absenteeism, greater talent retention, and the ability to spend more time with family. The government, through Talent Corp, has encouraged firms to use FWAs to give employees more flexibility in terms of the service duration, location, and working hours. Furthermore, the 2014 Malaysian budget has indicated that any organisation that implements or improves FWA's practices in their services will be eligible for a double tax deduction up to 500,000 ringgit. The effort here is actually aimed to enhance female labour participation, which allows fostering work-life balance and increasing labour productivity. However, the incentive expired at 2016. and the government still used talent corp to promote FWAs in the private sector and granted tax incentive to increase employees' morale based on their performance in the public sector. FWAs are a standard working practice in developed countries. However, it is not common in Malaysia. The government actually realized the importance and the benefit of FWAs in terms of the employees' productivity and morale, which would actually improve employees' quality of life. Different from WBF that I have mentioned before, FWA is acceptable where there is no legislation or regulation related with the FWAs in the private sector in which can be applied to the entirety of Malaysia. So in private sector, each company has to set their own legislation, procedure and policies in deciding to implementing this option within the organization. Furthermore, the inconsistent and indistinct government policies related to FWAs in Malaysia may also lead to a variation of FWAs between the public and private sector. We have chosen CIMB Group as the example of private sector. The CIMB Group has established a variety of work practices, WLPs and flexible working arrangements to assist a better work-life balance across the country. So in 2009, the CIMB has launched the Staff Regeneration Program (SRP) that allows their workers to take 1 to 6 month leave without compromising their seniority and job security. This SRP was established with the goal of providing work-life flexibilities to their employees, especially women who were the primary caretakers. And this initiative has boosted the organization's employees' engagement. Aside from that, the SRP has implemented policies for employees who wish to take career vacations such as daycare centers, reserved parking spaces for female employees and nursing room for moms, among other things. These activities that I have mentioned were combined under the umbrella of Workplace Wellness at CIMB, a complete work-life plan developed for the welfare of the employee. This is mentioned by Dato' Hamidah Naziadin, the CIMB Group Chief People Officer. This company initiative were acknowledged at Talent Corp's Life at Work 2017 Awards, which honored businesses that have implemented innovative workplace initiatives.
Next, I'll be explaining the Government Office Operation Program under Movement Control Order MCO 3.0. So we'll see first the implementation in public sector. So public sector, they have their own work from home policy that were adopted to guide these public services. So the focus is based on the attendance of the officers and what are the general procedures and rules they need to follow. So there are 4 approaches that were introduced. Number 1 is the attendance at the office were based on 20 and 80% of job rotation. And secondly is the attendance at the office is required for physical presence that cannot be performed through work from home. And thirdly is the meeting and discussion must be conducted online through a secured medium. And number 4 is all counter service are available for the service that are not available online but must be made through appointment. Next, I will be explaining a bit detail about the 4 approaches. Number 1 is the attendance is based on hybrid method of rotation. As I said, follow the 20-80 percentage. That exclude frontliners, so frontliners such as health and non-health personnel, security officers, enforcement officers, and such other categories prescribed by the government. They were excluded by this percentage. But all other public sector, you should follow this job rotation percentage. And secondly, in terms of the attendance, then you need to come to the office. So all these public servants that are required to come to the office is only for the payment matters, or matters involve the secret or top secret document such as cabinet memorandum, then you can come to the office lah. But you need to follow a several rules. Okay, you need to wear your mask, you need to use your face shield recommended, and then you need to scan your MySejahtera barcode every time, and then use physical restraint, and then you need to use hand sanitizer and wash your hand regularly. Also, you need to record and report your attendance at your office, ministry or department. And thirdly is in terms of meeting and discussion. So it will be conducted online through video conferencing, but you need to ensure that the medium you use is secured in confidentiality by the ICT security policy set by MAMPO. And fourth is that the counter service are made available through appointment. So it must be based to all SOPs stated by NSC, also MQH. You need to follow a certain measures where the number of counters open is minimum during the office hour, and then you need to open a special counter for the document or packages receiving. Next, for the implementation in private sector, all these private sector business, they can carry out their own work from home policy, but they need to follow the general guidelines stated by the Ministry of International Trade and Industry, which is they need to operate it in a percentage of 60-40, which is 60% for the office staff, operation and the support staff, and the remaining will be work from home. And the job rotation also must not exceed 60% of the employee capacity, and need to provide a proof for the purpose of their movement between home and workplace. For example, in private sector, we chose CIMB bank operation, where they operated for 30-70% between the management team and also work from home employees. So they execute this type of split operation with essential needs for physical presence in the office for 30%, and the remaining 70% will conduct it from home. So they also, CMB also invest in the technology for the employees who work from home with connected CIMB virtual private network or VPN to accommodate these employees to have a network security when they work from home.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Anisla Namti Zainurain, and I'll continue the presentation in the part of challenges work from home. So the first one is solving complex environmental problems. In view of the COVID-19 circumstances, traditional leadership is no longer appropriate. Three variables influences effective leadership, which is the leader, the follower, and the circumstances. In the workplace, intricate and unexpected work interaction have an impact on the components of leader and follower. In the VUCA world, wisdom and a novel approach to leadership are necessary. The third VUCA describes a scenario in which there is a great deal of uncertainty. Nothing is certain in a VUCA situation. Working people are finding it difficult to make prediction or set expectation as they formally did. As a result, in this VUCA world, new challenges for leaders must be adaptive and diverse. All leaders should be multi-skilled and possess spiritual qualities. Moreover, the office work culture changed throughout the PKP period, with working from home becoming the new standard. This situation is remote work efficiency, the availability of appropriate facilities and equipment, time management, and the honesty of each employee. As a result, the spiritual maturity of the leader is crucial in this PKP situation because resilience and dramatic action give the impressions of a charismatic leader. So the second one, practicing effective communication. There is no doubt that stumbling blocks and roadblocks obstruct the proper functioning of the communication process. Because of the PKP epidemic in the COVID-19 pandemic, the leaders traditionally face-to-face engagement with his organization people has switched to online communication, which has grown significantly. The MCMC, as well as industries such as telecommunication, broadcasting, postal and courier services, and digital signature certifications authorities are committed to ensuring the continuity of their operation in the face of the COVID-19. MCMC also emphasized the importance of ensuring the Malaysians have access to a wide range of communication services during the PKP period to ensure that their network web services and customer support continue to function normally. Telecommunication business must build business continuity plans. Simultaneously, in order for online communication to be fully learned and accepted in new culture, new skills are necessary, necessitating the digitalization of society. In this case, each individual must constantly develop self-competence in the use of modern communication by possessing the necessary skills, attitudes, and characteristics in order to overcome any obstacle that may arise and the communication process to always be implemented effectively in any condition. So now we are going to continue the recommendation on work from home. The first one, organization need to plan flexible working schedule to avoid work from home stress. Many people who work from home stress because they can't find a good balance between work and family duties. Employers need to develop clear and adaptable norms as working hours increase longer, causing many individuals to feel stressed. Organization must organize their work schedules. Flexibility should be linked to responsibility and a work concept that can be changed in response to changing circumstances. Employees will feel more accountable as a result and will be more prompt and productive. Employees are also encouraged to participate in extracurricular activities in order to stay fresh and productive. Every 10 to 15 minutes, take a break to do something else, such as have lunch with the family or go for a walk. Employees are encouraged to include and adhere to breaks in their work schedules. For the second one, manage group with full kindness. Managers must take a more proactive approach to ensuring that employees working under the supervision can function effectively and efficiently from home. It is vital to understand each employee's situation, especially those who are experiencing difficulties, and to provide the appropriate support or assistance so that co-workers can generate high quality of work. The manager should instill confidence and motivation in them. A culture of caring, compassion, and helping one another in the workplace need to be re-nurtured, especially in this hard.
In conclusion, the implementation of the concept of working from home, flexible working hours, and flexible working arrangement by several government and private sectors, which started before and after the Movement Control Order (MCO), which happened, give a lot of benefits to us all the people. Since MCO happened, various reactions have been provoked in the community towards the implementation of work from home. Although it may seem awkward at first, it seems more accepted, and the proof is that many tasks can be completed better by officers and staff who work from home. Employers and enterprises need to take the opportunity to adapt to this new norm as well as the benefits of it. Thus, with this working from home, the COVID-19 network can be successfully ended. In addition, working from home can give a lot of benefits to the employers so that the employees can save a lot of costs. For example, office space may no longer be needed or rent smaller space, so does the cost of utility bills such as electricity. So working from home allows the employers to hire workers from all over the world, so there is a pool of talent to drive the enterprise and grow the business. So moreover, flexible working hours can be an excellent method to assist your staff in achieving a better work-life balance, and as a result, the employees can perform better at their work.